We hadn't Tiffany and I came. We hadn't had Natalie yet.
I'm gonna bring the. I got a
If it was
hat.
the 50th, that would have been like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That was Tiffany and I. We didn't have Natalie when we came to Macon. That was your 40th. I promise. I
was
placed
50th.
any amount of money, any amount of money that was your 40th. Tiffany and I hadn't had Natalie
might be
yet.
right.
We
You
were
might be right.
dating,
You
but
might
we
be
hadn't
right.
had Natalie.
Yeah, you might be
Natalie's
right.
12.
Yeah. Okay. You got me. You got me.
I think we're live anyway. Trying to make sure we should be live.
They say we're live, y'all. If somebody's
live.
seeing this, call me.
Just trying to make sure. I think we're live. I'm trying.
Is this mic on?
Don't see
All
it
this
yet.
stuff I said 5 minutes ago, I didn't mean.
No, you didn't. We weren't live 5 minutes ago.
Okay. 2 minutes.
There we are.
We're on?
Hey,
There we are.
All right.
we're live.
Yeah. 2 bald dudes and a non-bald dude.
All right, John, do your introduction.
All right. Hey, man, we are the cool ass nerdy dudes, man. We are doing our first live broadcast,
Man,
man.
I'm so nervous, man.
You
It's
know what I'm
live.
saying?
Man,
You
you
know,
got no
norm-
makeup or nothing, man.
You know,
We're supposed to tap this thing, or what are we supposed to do?
You know, normally we pre-record this thing and edit and do all kinds of stuff, but
Yeah.
this
Lord.
time we are all the way live, man.
Lord knows we need to edit.
So you got to, guard your tongue, man. No,
It's all good. It's all good. Tonight I'm good. I'm going to be good tonight. I'm going to keep it rated PG.
no,
Well, based on the subject.
no, but we are live, man, because we got some kind of, tough news today, man.
Fortunate, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt.
a brother that shaped our lives growing up, man.
Yes.
Every Thursday night.
Thursday nights was
Every Thursday night.
Thursday nights at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Must see.
Cosby Show.
Hey,
gotta be home.
you had to be
Got
home,
to be home
on Thursday
Running
nights.
home to get there at 8 to catch the beginning of the show.
What?
You had to be home for the very beginning to catch that intro.
Yep.
Yes, we did.
Theme song.
Yes, we did.
That
everything.
theme song.
Yep. Yep. That and football. You got to catch it at the beginning.
Brother Cosby, Bill
was-
Cosby, brought us the Cosby Show, which I'll say this real quick and let you do your thing, because John was much more close to Malcolm, who we lost in an untimely death. I heard Sunday night was when it actually happened.
Yeah, man.
But the Cosby Show, I look at Bill and Claire, not Bill. Well, yeah, Bill. Well, Cliff and Claire were our heroes.
The Huxtables.
They were our
Huxtables, baby.
heroes and sheroes because they were our parents. And Theo was our brother.
Yes.
Because we could relate.
Yep.
We
Yes.
could relate. My parents.
Middle class
definitely-
black
Middle class.
America.
Exactly.
Around the
And that's
same
what Bill
age.
brought to us.
Yeah. Around the same age and everything.
That's it. He brought it to us. Bill said, I want to show a part of America that they don't show. And I'm proud of that, and I can appreciate that. Thanks to Brother Cosby for doing that, because that was us. That was our,
Yep.
people say it's your soundtrack to growing up, certain songs. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was our soundtrack. That show was a lot of us. That show was, South Side Atlanta at the time, Cascade, Camilton Road, Old National, College Park. That was us.
Before it was College Park.
Yeah, exactly. Way before.
Hey, it was
Yeah.
Donaldsonville, Georgia, too, my
There
brother.
you go. Yeah,
it was
yeah,
down
yeah.
south country Georgia, too, man.
Yeah, give us
all
some
day
insight
long,
from everywhere.
all day long. Everybody. We went to school. We talked about the Cosby Show the next day.
Yes.
It was all about that episode of Baby, that midnight favorite episode. Favorite that introduced me to that Ray Charles song. I never didn't even know it
the
existed.
nighttime.
Yeah, didn't even know
It's
it
the
existed
right
until
time.
that song.
There
Until
you
then.
go.
Or whatever.
Till then.
I may have said it backwards, but
go.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And because
Beautiful,
of,
brother.
Bill Cosby brought us. He said it. He said that's why he started the show. He wanted to show us in that light.
Yeah.
And that did show us in that. That gave brothers like
Yeah.
us when Kanye said, "I want to make music for brothers that's proud to go to college." Something to that effect. And he gave it
Because it was different, man. Before that, man, everything was good times.
Yep.
Yeah. always
was
showing us
struggle.
in a comedy
Struggle.
downtrodden
With the exception of the
Sanford and
Jeffersons.
Son.
The Jeffersons was the only other exception.
They
Yeah.
moved on up,
They
but they
moved
still
up.
had George acting.
He was still,
all-
but he was still, yeah,
he was a businessman.
He was a businessman, but he was still jiving, shucking and jiving.
Exactly.
Yeah, he
Bill
was-
said, "I'm gonna show us on a level
Whole
of
nother level.
calm.
Yeah.
This is how we are in
Yeah.
our household.
Absolutely.
It's not perfect, but the thing is, that was the classiest show probably ever.
Yep.
I'm gonna say ever, the classiest show. And you look at the people that he had on the show.
Yeah.
Joe Williams, B.B. King,
Yep.
Stevie Wonder, Lena Horne.
Yep.
I don't know, and it'll be a whole nother episode that we do, because I say that to say I don't know how we got to where we are with our shows, but look at what we had then.
Yeah.
That show depicted what we were then. Our
What we
parents
did.
were
Exactly.
hardworking,
That was
middle
my
class
household,
people.
man. That was my household.
Exactly.
Brothers, house full of brothers and sisters. Obviously, going through the tribulations of kids, ups and downs, doing what you're supposed to do, doing what you're not supposed to do. All of that, so you could relate to it. Imagery
There you go.
of what young kids are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Proper upbringing. Rules,
What's up, Christine? What's
all
up,
that good
Anthony?
stuff. And
What's up, Sir
I miss
Bucket?
it, bro. I miss it.
I do too,
I
man.
miss it, man.
I do too.
I miss it.
What I don't know what happened, but like I said, it's a whole nother episode. Tonight is kind of like I said. Well, we kind of said we speak on Bill the Cosby Show and its effects, and
Yeah.
obviously
The positive
Malcolm,
effects
Warner.
of just
Absolutely.
the overall Cosby Show. Now, I do want to talk about my friend Malcolm.
Let's
Yeah.
do it, man.
Malcolm Jamal Warner is, I'm going to say is because his spirit lives on.
No doubt.
Malcolm Jamal Warner is a cool brother. I mean, he is a powerful brother. He's just an humble spirit. First time we met was literally right here in this studio, not in this room, but in the studio. A couple other musicians, a guy named Trey Gilbert,
Bass player.
and a guy named Landon Anderson, drummer. They brought him over here to work on a project for him. Okay. So if a lot of people don't know that Malcolm was a spoken word artist and a bass player.
Yeah.
And at the time, I can't remember whether this was 2009 or 2010. It might have even been 2011, so don't hold it against me around the dates, but it was somewhere in that time frame that it was around the time that Malcolm hadn't been playing bass very long. And so he was still, kind of learning the bass. This was something that he kind of wanted to do. He's always loved the bass, always wanted to do it. And this was going to be like his, his second career or whatever. So it's like, he's made all his money acting and doing his thing. He's like, man, I want to do something else. He said, like, shoot, I want to do spoken word and I want to play the bass. All right, cool. So he said, I'm going to learn how to play the bass. So why not get the best person I know to teach me how to play the bass? So he had Trey. So Trey Gilbert, one of the best bass players, I'm going to say in the city, but hell, one of the best bass players in the world.
Wow.
To come and play bass. So Trey was teaching him. Okay. And along with some other cats I know. And we were all hanging out and we were working on his records. They brought him over here. And forgive me, I'm a little bit emotional right now if I'm kind of rambling.
Do your thing. Take your time, as they would say.
But they were, we were kind of vibing and hanging out. And it became just a really cool vibe. And we were working on his record. And it became more than just working on his record. They have a saying that says, you don't want to meet your heroes, right?
Yeah.
Because, it usually lets you down.
It lets you down, yeah.
This was not a case like that. Like we just talked about, he's the person that we grew up watching on TV.
He was our brother.
He was our brother that we grew up watching on TV. Well, when I met him, he instantly became my brother in real life. Like that from that first meeting.
Wow.
And we were talking and hanging out, and this was probably in, let's say, whatever year that was. It was in October. that we were doing that session. And we did that session and maybe a couple sessions after that. And it was all during October, maybe early November. And we had a whole conversation. And this is a quick story. We were talking about recipes. And I was telling him that one of my favorite recipes, we were talking about drinks. And some kind of way we got onto the subject of Grand Marnier. Shout out. Maybe we don't have any sponsorships with Grand Marnier, but hey.
We'd love to have it.
But we were talking about Grand Marnier.
I go to trial.
And we were all, somebody was saying, Grand Marnier is too sweet, too sugary, whatever. And I said, hey, man, it has a really good purpose. I said, I mix it with maple syrup. And I actually have a recipe that I mix it in also with waffle batter. And I do it with oranges and actually mix it with the maple syrup and pour it over some waffles. I use it every Christmas, and it's absolutely great. Grand Marnier waffles is what I do.
Okay.
And do you know, on Christmas morning, I get a text from Malcolm asking me, hey, man, and this was at the time he was dating Regina King. I get a text from Malcolm. He said, hey, man, he said, am I bothering you right now? I'm like, nah. And this is right around the time, I think FaceTime was like a brand new thing or something like that. Yeah. He said, you mind if I FaceTime you? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. So he FaceTime called me, and he was like, hey, man, what's the recipe? And, and Regina King's in the background, and they're like, it's Christmas morning. And it's like, so I'm sharing them with the recipe for, the whole waffles on. And this is the first year that we're meeting, hanging out, whatever. And that's how I knew that at that point, that this was my brother, not just, some random, celebrity or whatever. This is like, real person, real cool, down to earth brother. And I was like, wow, man, Malcolm Jamal Warner just hit me up on Christmas morning asking me for my recipe.
Like you just said, he's a real down to earth.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, wow. So that was, just some cool stuff, man. Yeah. And then, over the years, we were hanging out. And doing other things. Even like when we would go out on some different tour shows, we would be down in Florida. He was a really shy brother also, man, like real humble. Never was...
Never acted like I was on the Cosby Show, the greatest show in the world.
Yeah, that wasn't his. That wasn't his
can't
MO.
Tell me anything.
Yeah. That wasn't his MO.
Definitely how I would have been. No,
that wasn't his MO.
Right.
Even down to like, he did not like to be left alone. That was the other thing. That was like, if we were out on, like, say if we were all out on the show, if we walked away from him. He didn't like have a bodyguard or entourage or anything, but he always wanted to make sure that one of the band members was with him, because he always wanted to make sure that we were kind of like his security folks, not just because, random folks he didn't want random folks to just walk up on him. Mm-hmm. But that was his way of being protected without having to walk with a full-on entourage. Yeah. He didn't, he didn't want to have the ego of having like a whole security team. He wanted to be able to walk around freely, but he always wanted to make sure at least one of his boys was with him at all times. Right. Mm-hmm. Which was a testament to his character.
No doubt.
The fact that he wanted to be approachable, but he wanted to make sure that somebody had his back at all times at the same time, which was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So
go ahead.
Just like I said, just a cool dude, man.
Something like it. Definitely. I've seen people that take pictures with him, and you can tell certain big entertainers when they take pictures, it's like, I'm just in the picture just to be in it. But he looked like he genuinely wanted to be, and I've seen him with many people taking pictures. He genuinely wanted to be in that picture, or at least make it look as natural as possible.
Man,
That's appreciated.
Man, I'm sick right now, man, because I spent like all day. I've been going through my phone, going through my hard drive. I can't find any of the pictures that we have, man. I don't know where they are. I mean, I'm sure they're
You got your
around.
story, you got your testimony, man.
I'm sure I got some. There's some other pictures that I have on hard drives at home. I've been looking all over for these pictures, man. Landon, Trey, if y'all see this, man, if y'all got any other pictures of Malcolm that were here at the studio, man, send them to me, man. I mean, I was looking for them, but I can't find any, man, and it's really kind of messing with me that I can't find them. But it's all good. Anyway, man, but the Cosby, but anyway, the Cosby Show was just so dope, man.
It was, man.
It is. It is.
You
still the greatest show.
You see some of the they show the clips on like social media nowadays. Have you seen? I'll be scrolling through.
I watch it. It still comes on. So
Where do you watch it at nowadays, man?
you can get it on TV One.
TV One?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they'll show whole episodes on like reels now.
Reels, and it's another TV station, channel 381 on DirecTV. Well, they show mostly all black shows, but they show it on there. I mean, it's a few places.
Yeah,
You
but
just gotta
I'll be scrolling Facebook and somebody will have a whole episode posted on Facebook and it stops me in my tracks every time.
Always. I mean, you cannot.
And I'll be
There
like,
will never be another Cosby Show. Like I said, the class that it showed, that it represented, it was us. It was us, and it made us feel like, okay, somebody's out here representing us, and I feel good. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's it depicted us.
Yeah.
It depicted us growing up. It depicted our parents. And I get, that's one thing I don't like about now. It's like every show, TV show, or every movie depicts us in the struggle. I hadn't been through the struggle, man.
You're right.
I mean, have I faced some things? Yeah, we all, but no, I hadn't been through enough to say that I've been through the struggle. I went through exactly what I was. Theo for the first 2 years, just a young boy coming into himself.
yeah.
And then
you have
and I'm gonna say this.
Did you have a Gordon Gartrell?
I got one now. I started to wear it. I ordered it off of Amazon. It looked good on Amazon. I put that bad boy on. I was like, Denise! You know what I'm saying? I was like, Amazon! I know you didn't see me. It fit like this. I had to stand like this to wear that joint. Like, yo! Amazon, if we get, hopefully Amazon will sponsor us. Nothing wrong with your shirts. It just didn't fit me right. But yeah, it's I mean, you can we didn't want to be Theo. We were Theo. He was us and we were him.
Yeah, man.
Which was great. That was great because you could go to school the next day proud, like, all right, Bill, Dr. Huxtable got on him. Mostly Claire got on him, Dr. Huxtable. Because that's why I was so into the Cosby Show, because it did represent me. I was Theo Huxtable. I mean, that was my parents, hardworking middle class people.
Yep.
And I was a young boy trying to come into myself. And you had your dad. I always say, your mother knows you better than anybody on this earth, but your father understands you as a man.
That part.
Yeah.
He understands you as a man. Your mother knows you. She carried you for 9 months. She
Exactly.
knows you more than anybody, but your father understands you. And that was the dynamic that Heathcliff and Claire had. And that was the dynamic that I had in my house.
Exactly.
And that's why I was like, yo, this is, Theo's character was like, hey, this is me. And I feel good knowing that I have a representation on television now. I don't have to just see it out in the neighborhood or going to school.
Yeah.
It's on television now, which made it great. And later, I became Denise. No, none of that before y'all started thinking. In this day and time,
be careful what you
when
say,
I
brother.
say that,
Pause.
when I say that, meaning, Denise became the rebellious,
Yeah, no, I got you.
everything was- Theo really became the scholar. And Denise was kind of like, and that was really kind of me too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was smart as hell, but I didn't like to study.
Right.
I just like, I got by because I like to have a good time. So my daughter gets it, honestly. But anyway, the Cosby Show was us, man. It was us. I appreciate it for that, if nothing else. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Malcolm, Jamal. Well, Theo It's just, man, and
it's
that's
family,
that's
man.
why it hits home.
It was
because
family. It was
is
family,
and it
brother.
was.
And that's how it was. We would get, just around the TV, all of us, and it was family watching a family.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a
That
family
was
watching
us.
a family. You know what I'm saying? And everything, you could relate to everything that was going on, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Everybody went through their little thing, where they, like I said earlier, what we shouldn't have done, and the things that we did well. You know what I'm saying? We had
Right.
structure. We had to get this done by this time, and everything was laid out. So it was very relatable. Like you said, man, it's something that it hasn't been repeated. I don't think since then.
So you asked me something earlier, Steve, when we were talking about this in our show prep. You asked me. You said, well, you asked me, did he have his, finances and stuff together? Or you kind of alluded to
definitely
that.
talk on that.
And one of the things, and I don't know all of his financial business. That's obviously it's not my place to know that.
Right.
But I can share with you a conversation that he and I had. Way back then. This was early on. He said that one of the things that Bill did for each one of them, all of the kids that were on the show, he said he made sure that they were all set up financially. He said he did not want to have child actors growing up into adult actors
Right.
that would be broke adult actors or has-beens of broke adult actors. So he made sure that they were set up and, fiscally responsible, made sure that they knew how to invest their money, made sure that nobody took advantage of them while they were on the show, and made sure that they he paid them very well, made sure that they had great residual deals.
Yeah.
How about that?
So even when the shows are in syndication, they still would get rewresiduals. He sat there and made sure of that.
That's good. Yeah.
And so, so they were he was good.
Yeah.
And which means that everybody else on the show,
Yeah.
was good. That was one of the things that Bill Cosby was the GOAT for.
Yeah.
People talk trash about Cosby, man.
I don't.
They say a lot of
love the
bad. They
brother.
say a lot of bad things about Bill Cosby, and I can't say any bad things about him, man.
Well, I think it goes back to what we discussed it on one episode, and I think it goes back to my conspiracy of why he was brought down, and that is part of the reason. I think that they saw this in someone that they didn't want to see it in. That he inspired people to do right. Whether people want to act like he didn't do right or whether the court case showed that he didn't do right, he inspired people to do right. And it goes back to what I said. I mean, that is a prime example. If that's the case, those types of things, how many people would do that? How many people would do that for their cast?
Not many.
That's one thing. Then the other thing, how many people really truly inspire people that normally wouldn't be inspired to actually want to go out here and say, hey, I want to go to college. I want to own a business. I want to be, everybody wanted to be back in the day, so I want to be Trump.
Man.
And I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying, we want to be Cosby financially.
Man.
We want to be Cosby.
I go back and I look at these old episodes, and I'm seeing all of the fact that every episode he has on a black college sweatshirt, black college,
Which inspired Martin. When Martin had his show, Martin did the same thing.
Yep.
And Martin often spoke of Cosby on his show because when you are the man, people are going to speak of you no matter where you are. And there's many episodes of Martin where they spoke of Bill Cosby.
Yep.
He was a hero. He was a hero. He was doing it. They didn't say, let's talk about Red Fox. Let's talk about Sherman Hemsley. They spoke of being Bill Cosby. And that speaks volumes. We wanted to be Bill Cosby. We wanted to be Trump as far as the money was concerned, but we wanted to be Bill Cosby in character as well as the money. Bill Cosby was self-made. People don't realize that either. Bill Cosby wasn't given what he had. Bill Cosby built his empire brick by brick. So that says a lot. But like I go back to saying that with Bill Cosby, his inspiration to me is what brought him down. He was the most powerful black man in entertainment. And we couldn't have that. I've said this before. The powers that be said, we can't have that. They want us where we are now. Look at what is supported now. We're on, and I'll get off this subject quick. Don't get off say that because I don't want to tarnish it. What a good majority of our people, unfortunately, are celebrating is the Glorrillas, the Sexy Reds, the ignorance in hip hop, the ignorance in reality shows. Every show we have, you look at every movie that's made about us now, shows our struggle. Damn, why can't we show our successes? Bill Cosby brought us to show our successes. Yeah. Again, I go back to who he had on the show. Each of you can probably name 10 people that he had on the show that were super classy. Like I said, name somebody.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Joe Williams, Stevie Wonder, Lena Horne, B.B. King. We could go on and on and on. And then you look at shows now. Who do they have on their shows that people are watching? Ooh, we got Glorilla winning a gospel music award. We got Kirk Franklin out here gyrating like he's whatever. This is what we're looking at and loving on the BET Awards. BET is embarrassing. It is totally embarrassing. But we don't have anything else. Our TV shows, again, I say we'll never have another Cosby Show, but our TV shows.
I'm not gonna say never, man. Hopefully, man. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say never.
Probably not in our lifetime.
Why I'll say that?
Probably not in our lifetime.
Bill Cosby came on and did not. What we'll have now, say we have another one. I guarantee you it's so predictable. It's going to have something deal with our struggle, or it's going to have some kind of political statement. I get sick of that. Yeah. Bill Cosby didn't come out with political statements. Bill Cosby just said, look, this is how we live as well. Just like y'all see us.
You know the closest thing that we had.
You're going to say Blackish.
But the title fucked it up. I'm sorry.
Not just the title, John.
I'm sorry.
It was to make a statement.
It was a statement.
I hated the title. I hated the title. I hated the title.
Comical. It was almost
I hated the title.
It was
because it was to make a statement.
No, because the title made me almost not watch it.
Yeah.
The title. I actually. It was on for like it was on for like 8-9 months before I watched the first episode because I couldn't get past the title, and it was like somebody convinced me. They was like, "Man, just watch it, watch it." I finally watched it, and I was like, "Okay, it's actually a good show."
Really,
I couldn't. I still couldn't get past the title.
I didn't like it.
I couldn't get past the title, but I couldn't get. I knew that, like you said, with every show now. Either they're going to have at least an episode or a few episodes, depending on what's happening in the media. Whatever the hot story is around struggle, if there's a police shooting, we got to have an episode of a police shooting. Fresh Prince?
Fresh Prince was a good show.
But like Kev and I were just saying, it's always about why was Cosby able to make it 8 successful seasons without dealing with our struggle? I mean, he had a few here and there. Yeah, he had a show where they ended with the speech of Martin Luther King Jr., but it was still about his family.
Yeah,
it's just like my dad. My dad never woke up every day talking about, son, it's racist out there. Son, it's hard out there. He said it was hard for me, and I'm going to do what I can to make it easier for you. That's what my parents did. I remember one time my dad said, you know what? I'm not going to always give you what you want, but I'm going to always make sure you got what you need. He ain't say nothing about racism. He ain't say nothing about the struggle.
Yeah, he didn't want to plant that seed.
Thank you.
He didn't want to plant that seed.
And he always said, get the best of both worlds. My dad owned businesses. He owned businesses, he owned houses, and he still worked corporate America. And he said that. So he said, have the best of both worlds. And he did it. And it's success. And I say that, not saying that just for my dad. My mother was out there. She was one of the best educators in the Board of Education, Atlanta Public School System.
You want to know what one of my biggest pet peeves is?
What?
When people actually say to me, the Cosby Show wasn't realistic. I'm sure
I've
you've
heard
heard
that
that.
too, yes.
When people sit here and say the Cosby Show was fiction, it was not realistic. It was not, that it's not a realistic black story.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting up here like, that's the biggest disservice to just for that to come out of your mouth
I hate it.
shows that your scope of vision is so limited.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you there's a whole community of folks that is their story.
Yeah.
That is their story.
Yeah. They it's funny thing about it too, with the character of Heathcliff, they never showed him cussing his children out. I'm gonna whoop the hell out of y'all when you get home. But one thing they would always say, don't let dad find out. And I say that to say this to piggyback off of what you just said. It's just like me and my dad. When Heathcliff and Theo did some stuff, it was comical. But he was teaching Theo certain things, but it was comical. But it was realistic. And I say that
except for that one episode, boy, I brought you into this world.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life when Theo was like, you and Mom, you're a doctor. She's a lawyer. That doesn't make me love you any less or something to that effect. And everybody clapped when Theo did their speech. And then he said, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. No wonder you make D's. But I say that to say it was comical, but it was love.
It was love.
And that's what my parents were. And I say that to say the same thing you said. They say it's unrealistic. No, it's not. And no, it wasn't.
Let me give you a quote, man.
Go ahead, man.
This is Malcolm Jamal Warner. This is from the Associated Press. This is back in 2015. He was giving an interview, and this was after the whole Cosby thing, Bill Cosby thing, allegations, right, sexual assault. And he said how, whether or not he was concerned that whether or not that was going to tarnish the show. Here's his quote. He said, my biggest concern is when it comes to images of people of color on television and film, we've always had the Cosby Show to hold up against that. He said, and the fact that we no longer have that, that's the thing that saddens me the most, because in a few generations, the Huxtables will have just been a fairy tale.
Wow. And here we are.
Absolutely.
Here we are.
Absolutely. But
Here
just
we
like
are.
it's almost like you said, people didn't believe it. Why not?
Right. And here we got
Why
three
not?
people that lived it.
Why is it so easy to believe the struggle,
Right.
but it's not easy to believe what can be and what is?
Because it's being pushed.
My
it's
kid-
being pushed
Yeah.
by politics.
My kids are the Huxtables kids.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of kids are the husband kids these days, man.
I don't
Black
live
folks
with the
are living
mother of my
well.
child, but we both are together on what we do. And my daughter's not hurting for anything. My daughter has everything she needs, and definitely because of her grandparents, everything she wants. But it's a reality, man. It's just that unfortunately somehow we've been twisted and turned to
Politics have entered into everything, man.
It's politics,
struggle
and then
politics.
It's also,
But it's struggle politics.
there you go.
It's not success. It's not what can be. It's about what we cannot be. And that's infiltrated movies, film, music, everything. When it comes to us, it's just about struggle.
How are we taught that though? How are we taught to? When I ask you that, I'm asking a serious question. How are we taught? Where did we go wrong to where it is now a badge of honor to live in the hood? Not
Yeah.
to live in the hood. There's nothing wrong with people that live in the hood, but it's a badge of honor now.
badge of honor.
It's a badge of honor to go to jail, to live in the hood, to everything that you would see the Cosby Show as being. You would think everybody would want to be. You would think, but no.
Yeah.
It's a badge of honor to be hard. Like everybody's saying, sisters want these thug brothers and brothers want these sisters that's, and that's not me.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Where did that come from, Kev?
Programming, man.
Scarface.
Scarface.
So why was Scarface? How did Scarface
Because
jump in there and be a bigger person than
because
for us than Cosby?
Scarface became the hero, man.
Yeah, how does
Scarface
that
is a
happen,
cult hero.
music? It goes back what you said one episode ago. Music.
Absolutely.
Music is a beast.
Music is a powerful drug, man.
It is a beast because that to me is the common denominator. Outside of these dumbass shows, and let's name some of these dumbass shows. Real Housewives of America. of Atlanta.
Oh yeah, just pick one. Real Housewives of America. Just pick whatever city.
Atlanta.
Basketball Wives. Divas this, divas that.
Yeah.
Preachers of Atlanta, preachers of LA.
And the most ignorant you can act,
Dude.
we celebrate it.
Dude, even
we celebrate.
they found a way to make Married to Medicine ignorant.
Yeah.
a notable, honorable,
just hit me. Yeah.
honorable career, and they found a way to make that ignorant.
I guess because most of us are on blood pressure medicine, so let's. You know what I'm saying? Let's just, hey, you know,
Speaking of stress.
but it is sickening, and I say that to all of you out there, and I don't care what you think of me. It is sickening if you are not out there protesting this. Y'all can sit up there and be mad because I still go to shop at Target. I still do whatever. I'm not gonna lie to you because my protest would be 107.9, V103. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop Miami, and I could go on and on and on. I protest.
I don't shop at Target.
I don't care that you don't, and I don't care that people are mad at me for that because everybody has their protests, and I think Target is the least of our worries. Target is not influencing our children to go out here and do the things that they're doing. Let's be real, and because they stopped DEI. Okay, do you think Target went and fired every black person they ever hired? Come on, man.
It's a whole different.
Is Target influencing our kids?
That's a different conversation.
Are they influencing our kids to do what this ignorance is on 107.9?
That's a whole different conversation.
But do you think Target is influencing our kids to do that type of stuff?
No, but that's a different conversation.
Okay. Because we don't want because we should be boycotting that.
It's a different conversation for why we're boycotting Target. Not because of influencing kids. It's a different conversation.
DEI. Because
but the DEI with how they are handling and mostly dealing with their black vendors and what they were doing with partnerships with the independent black.
When I'm in Target, I still see those black vendors in Target.
A lot of
okay.
A lot of their partnerships they terminated.
Okay, but a lot of them they didn't. But let's go ahead and support again Love and Hip Hop. Let's go and support 107.9 and all the music that we know our children are listening to and being influenced by. And rules are changing because of music and how our children are acting. Rules are changing in schools. Rules are changing on the cruise ships. Rules are changing in everything we do because of how we're acting, and that has nothing to do with Target.
Once again, it's behavior. The cruise ship thing. We talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago. The cruise ship thing needed to change. Once again, that's we addressed that. That was a behavioral thing. It's not a black thing; it's a behavioral thing.
But it's majority us. When we're out in the major areas,
it's a behavioral thing.
It's major areas. It's us.
But Bill Cosby spoke about that way back then.
Yeah, Bill,
and he caught hell from it too.
From us.
He caught hell from us. He caught hell from us. Matter of fact, there was a guy who wrote a whole book off of that.
And
Michael Eric Dyson. He wrote a whole book off of that speech.
And if you look on social media right now, the main people who are speaking out against it are us. The main people who are speaking out against it, saying that they agree with Carnival's decision, are us.
You know what? It's about time we start upping that type of stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But it's because it's a behavioral thing. It's not just a color thing. It's a behavioral thing.
We don't I'll say we. I don't mind. You don't like saying it's a color thing because we always want to up our people. And I'm not mad at upping our people, but damn, sometimes we got to face the realities of our people in order to change the behaviors of our people. If we don't start, we constantly saying, "What about them?" or "They do it too." We constantly do that. But we don't deal with us.
Just dealing with behavior changes, whoever it is.
We'll agree to disagree on that.
Whether it's if it's us, call it out.
The rules are being changed because of us.
The rules are being changed because of behavior.
Because of us. Yes, our behavior.
Whoever's behavior.
Our behavior.
Whoever's behavior it is.
It's our behavior. But the same thing with schools. The getting metal detectors in schools. It's because of our children. But we don't want to address it. The gun issues, we sit up here and do the same thing, and I know we're kind of on and off the subject, and we'll go back to it, but this is stuff that needs to be talked about, and we'll talk about it. We talk about it on our show. You all check us out more and more.
Yep.
But the gun issue, that's us, but we don't want to. We want to sit out here and act like, no, it's us. We need to, if we dealt with us and stop worrying about, well, they do it too and everything they do, so much would change. We would go back to the era of the Cosby Show and how we were back in the days, but we can't get back there because we don't want to address us, because we don't want to tell the truth about us.
Accountability.
Speak on it.
Yeah, that's what Cosby was about. Wasn't it? That's what the show was about. Accountability.
But we helped bring him down. We helped, and they like, yeah, we got the powers that be. Yeah, we got an ally in his own people. You know, let's get them to say that. You know, how are you gonna speak against your own people? And that's how we looked at it. Instead of looking at it as you're telling the truth about your people, just like I'm doing now. It's let's let them bring them down. It won't look like it's us. And it doesn't look like it's them. It doesn't look like it's the powers that be. It's us because we don't want to address our issues. Cosby is this whole thing is basically bringing up and coming back around to Cosby and the Cosby Show and why he did what he did. Fat Albert was the same thing. Fat Albert spoke on issues.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
There you
spoke
go.
on issues.
I miss Fat Albert.
Good call out. Good
You
call
think
out.
he set
Fat
those
Albert.
kids up the same way he did?
I think Bucky got his.
Yeah,
man.
no, I wonder how Fat Albert's
Fat
living
Albert.
right now, man.
You know what was brilliant about Fat Albert?
What's that?
All those voices were him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with his brother at Delta, which was one of the characters. When I first moved back, I got hired at Delta while I was at Tennessee State. And come moving back home, I'm like, oh, cool, Delta, the headquarters. I'm going to be all right. And his brother worked on this light-skinned dude with freckles. I forgot his name, but it was Bill Cosby's brother, man. Wow, Bill Cosby was hot as hell. I don't know if it was... And, you know, we can't count people's coins. Bill probably hooked his brother up, I would imagine. But that guy that I worked with was actually one of the characters of Fat Albert. And he would talk to us about it, and he was humble as hell, cool as hell. But it was Bill Cosby's brother working on the ramp with me at Delta. And I was like,
Now, which one was he?
wow. This guy, I don't know, I forgot his name, but he was light-skinned. And he was one of the characters. I had to go through the characters and look him up, but he was like, yeah, might have been.
Russell was a show. Which one was the show?
But it was Bill Cosby's brother working on the ramp with us. And I was sitting there like, what the hell you working, Bill? Right about then, it had to be about 300-400 million in the game. Because it was right, I graduated in 91. So I came back home pretty much right then. And the Cosby Show was, you know, at its height. So, but anyway, that's the Fat Albert. Well, Fat Albert was just as poignant as it because
Lessons.
It was a message.
Lessons.
It was always a message.
It was the lessons, man.
Lessons.
And it wasn't the struggle necessarily.
Bill's going to tell you a
lessons.
thing or two.
Yep. And at the end of the show, he would tell you, this is what we did and this is why we did. But, you know, so, I mean, man, this dude came out and gave us the blueprint,
He gave us some
dude.
good stuff, man. He gave us some good things, too.
You know,
Yes.
different world.
Gave
man.
us the blueprint, man. And here's what we are now.
Single-handedly increased black college attendance.
And where are we? But I won't go back to that. But I say he gave us the blueprint, but we say we lived it. It didn't take him because we were living it before he came up. But he just kind of gave us a little more. He added a little more turbo to that engine.
He put it on Front Street.
Yeah, he took that turbo to that engine. Like, all right, here we are. Oh, let's roll with it now. Let's roll with it a little harder. Let's put it out there.
Added some gasoline to that fire.
Yeah, let's show you all. Because we see it. We know it's in our neighborhoods in College Park and Cascade, and we know it's there.
Well, Tyler Perry might do it. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face.
He gonna bring it back. Tyler Perry.
We talking about drama. We talking about drama on BET.
Medea and the Fat Albert
Drama
Kid.
on
I'm sorry.
BET. Drama on
I'm sorry, man.
BET.
Shout out to TP, man. I love you, man, but sorry, you ain't doing it, man.
Every show is drama.
God.
It's the struggle. No, it's not the struggle. It's just drama.
House of Pain is not the Cosby Show.
And
Sorry,
the Browns,
sorry,
Meet
it's
the
not.
Browns.
It's not.
Nowhere near it. It will never be.
You can never do the Cosby Show in that way again. You can do it a quarter of the way,
He could, though.
but you better have some struggle in it.
He could if he wanted to.
You think so?
He could if he wanted to.
I don't think he will. I think he's too far left to where it would be, again, like Kev just said. It would be struggle. It would be political.
He could if he
It's gonna
wanted
be
to.
all about.
Tyler?
He could if he wanted to. He doesn't have it in him.
Well, you know, they all could if they wanted to, but they won't.
not popular.
They're not popular.
He could if he
not
wanted
popular.
to.
It's not popular
Nah.
because the people that could, somebody would find a way to sabotage it.
Yeah.
Because I think he could get the viewers. He'd get our viewership.
It would be called inauthentic. It would be called. This is not a correct depiction of the black family today in America. That's what it would be billed as. It would be inauthentic, and there would be all kind of articles written about it on how inauthentic it is.
Right.
And it would be so much blowback. You would either have to change it dramatically, or it would be you would not get the traction because you would get all kind of pushback, negativity from your own. All kind of articles would be written about it. And if you don't show the struggle at some point, you're not showing
have a
how
gay
life
character.
it is. You got to have a thank
4
you.
or 5 gay
Thank you.
characters.
Thank you. We're not showing any diversity.
That 1% is realistic.
Yep. You got to
know.
have all of that. That's the elements you got to have today. Either that or you just got to have outright buffoonery. One or the other.
Yep.
Outright buffoonery or a drama show like Blackish, where you do have a family, a successful family, but you got to have some struggle element peppered in there somewhere.
Or Blackish was
Or-
very political.
Yeah. Or you're not going to get a good review from your own. That's just the
So
way
if
it
you
is.
come
man.
realistically,
Yeah.
you're not gonna succeed.
Nah.
If you come and say the son comes home from college and says, you know what, I'm Republican.
Yeah.
The left is gonna
Yeah.
eat it up. Oh, that's terrible. How's a black person gonna be Republican? That's the worst thing on the show. But if the son comes home,
But you
and
know
say-
what?
Let me say this right quick.
That would be good.
If the son comes home and says I'm gay, they'll
Oh,
great.
yeah, beautiful,
Yes!
beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful.
That's exactly what they would
Beautiful.
But that would be good, man. If because it would be like, you remember the show with Michael J. Fox? What was it? Family Ties.
do. That was the show that came on after the Cosby Show. That's how they got their ratings.
Yeah, but you remember Family Ties? Michael
it
J.
was a
Fox.
great show, wasn't it?
Michael
Yeah.
J. Fox was Republican.
Yeah.
But it was a white
But that
show.
was, and that was
so
then.
it's expected.
And that was
But
then.
but
that
the
was
whole
then.
family was liberal.
Yeah.
The whole family was liberal,
But you
and
could
he
do
was
that
a
then.
Republican.
But you could do that
and it
then.
was a great show.
It was a
white
great
folks.
show. You could do that then. Just like you had the Jeffersons and you had All in the Family. Archie Bumper was a bigot. but George came right back at him. He was a bigot on his side. You can't do that now. You can't have that type of show. You can't have that type of show these days. You got to have that, like you said, if he came home and say, I'm trans or whatever, you get applause.
Black folks be all over.
You get applause.
Yes.
But if he comes on to say, I'm conservative, he come on with a red hat on, oh my God.
He's a sellout.
Oh my
How
God.
that show needs to be taken off. The Divine Nine would make sure that show gets taken off the air. That's just who would do it. But with Michael J. Fox doing it on a white show, which I didn't have a problem with it, obviously. White folks can do that because they find the humor and stuff. Well, I always say, majority of them are logical thinkers. The majority of us are emotional thinkers.
I think you're selling us short.
No, what?
I think you're selling us short.
In what way?
I think.
In what way?
I think.
Let Obama come out and you posted something about Obama. You said they're misquoting him about him saying that every black man needs a gay friend.
Yes, that was a real misquote. That the root.com was misquoting
Okay,
him on that.
what was that? Real quick, what was that about?
Okay, let me see. So, Obama, one of the things that he said is the root stated that Obama said that every black boy needs to have a straight father and a gay father, or something like that, as a representative,
in his life.
as an influencer, and that is not what Obama said.
Okay.
What Obama said was he had a gay professor in his life that was a great influence on him, that just in general was a great influence on him. It wasn't until later on that he went back and thought about the fact, that this guy was a great influence on me, and it offered him some perspective and basically a different perspective that, okay, I can't hate gay people because I have, this great respect of this gay, person, this person who was a great influence in my life. So basically what he's saying is you need to not build yourself in an island. You need to have
A
variety of people that you are exposed to. That's
Now, I don't have a problem with that, but it seems like it's
But-
the Obamas that's always, no matter what, you're going to bring in the gay I won't say issue because it's not an issue.
But-
like I don't hate gay people. That's
But
stupid
no.
to
But
say.
what I'm saying,
gay.
there was such but it was such a small part of the whole
But
overall.
that's the one that he brought out because it's always when it comes to the Obamas, we're always going to bring up the gay community. There's nothing wrong with it because I know people will look at you when you say it that way. It's like you don't like gay people. Yes, I have many gay friends, and like I said, my gay friends don't like the attention.
Right.
That certain gay people, the LGBTQ, how many letters we have, are bringing to the attention of gay people.
But what I'm saying
that's
is,
always-
it was just,
that's always gotta be
but it
brought
was,
up.
but it was taken out of. It was main thing is it was taken out of context.
You can say that, but when people know what the Obamas, I don't think, and people don't like you talking. You know, most black people don't, but there's a lot of black people that understand that Obama I won't say he made it comfortable for gay people. He should have. Gay people should be comfortable. They should be very comfortable, just as comfortable as anybody else walking around. But it shouldn't be thrown in anybody's face. I don't come out here every day. I'm heterosexual. I'm heterosexual. I'm heterosexual.
Exactly.
And that shouldn't be thrown in my face that somebody's gay, somebody's gay, somebody's gay, or somebody's trans, somebody's trans, somebody's trans. It shouldn't be thrown in your face. But that seems to be when it comes to the black community because don't we seem to be their biggest ally no matter what? Mm-hmm. We don't fight for our own rights and struggles and issues.
Other people's.
But we'll sure fight for theirs. And we sure will, with a struggle, we sure will bring it up in a movie or a TV show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
so it's.
But that was all I was saying though. It was just they took it out of context.
I'm not mad at you. I mean, you got to support your guy. You got to support your guy. I just look at it as that's always something that's brought up with them, and it's always something that's brought up in our community.
Yeah,
it goes along with the struggle. It goes along with what else did we say we bring up in our communities instead of showing just we don't show heterosexual families anymore. We don't show a true full black correct. Heterosexual family. We don't show that anymore. Yeah. John, his wife, and his children. The only time I see that is when John posted. But we're not going to see it on a TV show. We're not going to see it. And I say that we're not going to see it on a TV show like a Cosby Show. Again, we'll see it on Blackish because, like I said, the only way you show us is the struggle or something political. And a minister said it that we need somebody in every facet. But we don't because we don't have it because we have such a herd mentality that you have to be Christian, you have to be Democrat, you have to be this. You cannot say, there's some super, super intelligent conservatives. I'm one, Kev is one. And just because we say we're conservative doesn't mean we're MAGA and we're so pro-Trump. But that's the first thing, that's how simple we are. That the first thing you say you're conservative, oh, you're Republican, you're pro-Trump. I'm pro-America. I don't mind saying I'm from America. I'm happy to be. I'm not going to be one. I'm proud to be an American. I'm happy to be an American. I like it over here. It's all I know. There may be better out there, but I'm real good with where I am and what I've gone through. And I hadn't gone through a lot of struggle. And that's because my parents didn't teach me that. They didn't teach me that being black is all about struggle.
That's fair.
Because it's not.
That's real.
It's not all about the struggle. Being black is not all about struggle. Freak Nick showed you that. You damn sure weren't struggling.
That was a different time.
One example. It was a different time, but hey.
Woo!
That was a nice little mural. That was nice.
Hey, man. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Brought it back to some laughter, man.
Hey, man.
Kev, you and I hung out Freak Nick.
Yes, we did.
Were we struggling?
No, we wasn't.
Oh, man.
No, we wasn't.
Hey, man, on that note. Hey, man. Freak Nick.
That's what it would be today.
Yeah, Street Nick.
It would be Street Nick today. It wouldn't be Nick.
Freak Nick proved that It wasn't all about the struggle.
Lord knows it wasn't.
Yeah, he got
Hey,
a
man.
documentary to prove it too, man.
Hey,
Everything.
The
man.
documentary didn't
right.
do justice to what the pictures that we have.
Hey, man. Just to bring it all back, man. Shout out to Bill Cosby, man, for creating this platform that allowed us to know brother Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah.
And you know,
And to know that black life is not all about struggle.
yeah, man.
It's not all about struggle.
And rest in peace, brother Malcolm.
Rest in peace.
And we love y'all, man. We're signing off. This is live, man. So y'all about to see me walk out the studio and go stop this thing.
So Kev and I keep talking.
Y'all can keep.
Kev, take us out with a song, man. This brother is one of the best singers I know. I'm telling y'all. Take us out with a
Fat
song.
Albert theme song. Man. What's a Fat
We
Albert
do.
theme song, man?
It was just always music. That's the thing about Bill Cosby. It was always about jazz, man. Some kind of jazz. You can sing the Cosby theme song.
I can't remember.